Ryan, they always say that losing in the semi-final is the worst moment. You obviously not contemplating that because you want to be in that final next year in January in Inglewood.
Yeah, I mean, I want to be in the finals for sure. I'm not thinking about that right now, though. I got a fight a couple days here on Friday, and against a tough guy, Matt Mitrone. You know, he was a favorite coming into this tournament, and you know, we're both on the same side, so I knew I was going to face him, and we both won our fights, and here we are. Is
speed the factor in this for you, the key factor?
Well, I think speed is a factor in his fights. I think he's used to having that speed as a heavyweight, and then you get a light heavyweight up there that can move, that is explosive, that is just as strong as, if not stronger than the heavyweights he's been facing. That kind of takes that speed advantage away, that athletic ability, because I have that also. He's used to having that that quickness on a lot of the heavier weights, you know, so I feel that it's more on his side of the plate as far as worrying about the speed.
Right, a couple weeks ago we saw McDonald go up and fight Mousasi, and Mousasi beat him pretty soundly,
yeah.
and the story of that was like, well, maybe the weight classes are here for a reason. Is there any concern about going up and fighting a heavyweight like Mitrone? And he's a bigger heavyweight.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is my first real heavyweight test, you know, but what are we going to be, like 10, 15 pounds, you know, apart from each other in weight? You know, I bring certain attributes, you know, he brings, if weight is the only attribute, then I'll take that every day, you know, but I feel like that 70 to, you know, 85 jump is a lot different than, you know, Mousasi was fighting at 205, you know, he's been up there, then giving up 10, 15 pounds at heavyweight. You know, I'm, you know, one of the strongest, if not the strongest 205 pounder. I'm quick, my cardio is always there, some of the best at light heavyweight, let alone heavyweight, you know, so I'm not worried about the strength or the, you know, or the weight part of it at all. I'm explosive, dynamic, I'm strong enough for this weight class, I'm big enough, but I bring those extra skills which make me good, the cardio, you know, the quickness, athleticism, to that heavyweight division.
How much do you think you'll weigh fight night?
I don't know, I haven't even jumped on a scale this week. You know, I left the house at 235. I was up to 239, 240 this camp. I come, you know, around fight time, my body kind of knows, and it starts shedding the pounds that it doesn't think it needs, you know. That's just kind of what I've been doing my whole athletic career. I've never not cut weight, you know. So my first time was with King Mo. I felt great. You know, usually right now I'm in the sauna, I put a sauna suit on, I'm pulling 15, 20 pounds of water out of my body. It's got to do something to you, you know, even though I don't cut a ton of weight. But so for me, coming in there as fresh as can be, I'm totally healthy. I feel fast, I feel strong. My mental game is there, you know, and I just feel like it's a perfect storm.
How'd you feel in the cage against King Mo at heavyweight compared to your 205 fight?
Oh, I felt awesome. You know, when you're cutting weight and you're trying to come back, it's a weird thing because you're cutting weight, make it that morning, your stomach's shrunk, you drink, you want liquids, so you're taking the liquids, then you're taking a little bit of food, and then you're like, oh, do I feel right? Do I feel it? You know, I just took it out, now I'm putting it in my body. Then you kind of like, all right, I think I feel good, and then you show up, and it's a fine line there of how you're feeling, and so I did not have to think about that at all. I felt great all week. I felt great in the cage, and sitting in the cage, I was smiling, I was happy. I'm like, man, I feel wonderful right now, you know, and it's just one of those things where, you know, I felt that definitely in the Bellator cage every time I stepped in there, and, you know, I have this extra motivation now because it's not like, okay, I'm out there, I'm in a fight. It's like, I see that light at the end of the tunnel. I see that, you know, that finals fight. I see that, you know, second belt wrapped around my waist, and I want that, you know, and so for me, it's even extra motivation just saying, all right, I have a fight, or even if it's a title fight, it's one and done. And then we'll see what happens next. I know, boom, I go out there, I'm one step closer, you know, January 26th in LA, I get to, you know, go for the heavyweight gold. So that's always in my mind, and so it's extra motivation.
Is there a sense that you might stay at heavyweight if you go all the way through, win the tournament, and that you're comfortable in your body just staying at heavyweight?
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff on my plate right now. You know, I got a tough fight ahead of me right here in Mitrone, and then, you know, win that, go to finals, got to win that. Granted, I win this belt. I plan on, my thoughts, my plan is to defend both. You know, I'm in that zone where I'm not too heavy. I'm not coming in at 245 where I'm thinking about 205. I'm like, man, I'm never touching that again. I can get down there in a week. You know, so it's definitely open to possibility. You know, that being said, we'll see what happens when we get there. There might be an intriguing heavyweight fight that I want to jump into, and you know, and hold up the light heavyweight for 2 years, and it'll be tough. So honestly, see what you know when we get there. But I plan on doing both.
this run at heavyweight, how beneficial do you think it is to your health and your long-term career and longevity of your career?
Yeah, I mean, I don't cut all that much weight, but like I said, thank you. Taking 15 pounds of water, 20 pounds of your water out of your body, 3 times a year, I don't think it's the end of the world, but it does something to your performance, I believe. So for me, I cut weight, in college and all that, not a ton, and so I don't think it's really a detriment at all. It's just nice. It's, usually I'd be in a different position right now trying to lose weight where I'm happy as can be, thinking about the fight. Usually fighters go in and that's their first fight and they totally neglect thinking about the fight. They're thinking about weigh-ins. And then you make weight and you're like, oh shit, I got to fight tomorrow. I got to fight another human in a cage, And it's like, it's a different mindset. So for me, it's totally focused on that fight. It takes one thing off my plate.
I know you don't want to think too far ahead, Ryan, but the winner of this fight faces either Fedor or Chael Sonnen. Either way, a very interesting matchup.
Oh, yeah.
Have you let us think about that at all? What's next?
Of course, and I've thought about fighting both of those guys, and that's one good thing about this tournament is you can look down this bracket and kind of plan here. I thought this guy's going to win, that guy. Okay, now hypotheticals and going down, and I've definitely thought about the uniqueness of fighting either one of those guys. And I think if you ask anybody in this tournament, who they would want to face in the finals, it'd be Fedor. For me coming up, and he's one of the favorite fighters. Watching him, and how cool it would be to fight in a Grand Prix style tournament what he came up on, and then let alone for a heavyweight championship of the world. It doesn't get any bigger than that. So I think of that, but at the same time, that's in the back of my head because I got to fight. I got to fight in a couple of days, of course. So that's what I'm focused on.
Can you remember bracketology? Who came out of the other side of the bracket?
Well,
when you were looking at it.
When I was looking at it,
yeah,
that was tough. I thought Chael was going to win, and then with Fedor and Mir, I thought it was going to be a tough fight because Mir was coming in very, very heavy, and I didn't know how the layoff would go, and it was a super entertaining fight, and I was happy when Fedor was advancing, because it potentially be in the finals in a spot, being on the other side of the bracket where you'd have a chance to get in there and cage with them, and so. And I thought Matt was going to win. I thought he was going to be just a little more athletic and whatnot. And he survived the takedowns, at the end there. But so it kind of played out how I thought it would.
Stylistically, who would be tougher for you between Chael and Fedor?
They both are so different. Mm-hmm. I think with Chael, we just have that battle wrestler versus wrestler. On the feet, on the ground, you're constantly scrambling. People underestimate him a lot. There's a reason why he's here in the semifinals. They think he's just a mouthpiece when he has legit skills. And you've seen it time and time again. Fighting guys like Shogun, oh, he doesn't have a chance. He goes out and chokes him out. And beat a big, dangerous rampage. To get here. And so that's stylistically against Chael and Fedor. He's obviously dynamic on the feet. At one punch, and that could be over at any time. We saw that happen against a guy that weighed 280 pounds. So they're different dynamics. And then I could be wrong, but I don't think we've seen Fedor on the ground recently. And we have in the past. I know he's great on the ground. So they're both tough, and that's why make it there. That's why we're fighting for the heavyweight championship of the world, because you deserve to be there.
Of the 4 guys left in this, you're the youngest of them. Does that kind of tell you something about how heavyweight career longevity goes, and how does that feel for you? Yeah,
right now I feel the best I've ever felt in my life, like athletic career, whatever. I think that's doing the right things. My body feels amazing, and my mental, like I was saying, the mental part of the game has caught up. Whereas in the past, I was like, I'm good. Am I the best in the world? I don't know. And now I know I'm the best in the world. I know I'm going to go in there and win. To best me, it's going to take a special person or an off night, and so it's good coming into these fights with that confidence and believing in myself. If you go through my record, I fought nothing but killers on my record. I'm 10-1 in my last 11 fights. 4 out of my last 5 fights have been stoppages. I'm not that guy that can just wrestle anymore. I have everything now. It's finally caught up, and it's a perfect time.
How much do you pay attention to the UFC's light heavyweight division and the hierarchy there?
Yeah, I watch it. I watch most of MMA. I don't catch every fight, but I usually, am reading up on it and stuff like that. I think it's kind of a shallow division, you know, over there. And with Phil and I leaving, you know, we were both top 3, top 4 when we left, you know, and now, you know, we've been tearing it up, and you know, I have a win over their number 3 guy, you know, knocked him out, you know, so I definitely think it's shallow. I think we have a lot of great guys over here in Bellator light heavyweight division, you know, and that's going to keep filling out. Yeah, so.
Do you feel like if you were still there, you would have at least gotten a title shot, if not become the champion already?
Shit, I don't know. You know, I was there for a while, and you know, I was on these win streaks and all that, and you know, who knows who gets the title shot, right? Look at what just happened in the heavyweight division. You know, Derek Lewis and Cormier, which obviously Cormier is a champ and deserves these big fights. But then you watch Derek Lewis's performance, and you're like, he got the nod. You know, and you have Stipe out here, who's like the most winningest heavyweight, and he gets not even mentioned in this. You know, and so for me, that's what I liked about this tournament. It's not like you're better on the mic than I am, and you can talk a lot of shit. So you're going to move on to the final because people are going to pay to see you, right? This tournament is how I grew up in wrestling. You win your fight, you move on. You win that fight, you move on until there's one guy left, and that's it. It's all about your skills as a fighter and competition and winning, and that's it. It's just like any other professional sports league. You know, in the playoffs, they're like, oh, the Raiders are in because they're moving to Vegas. You know, no, it's you win and you go.
Not a fan of Derek Lewis's post-fight speech?
No, I'm a huge fan of the guy. And, you know, and
showed his stones.
Yeah, it was funny as hell. You know, even he said though, he's like, I'm not ready for a championship fight. You know, I can't go 3 rounds, and then they throw him in there. You know, so it is what it is. But I just feel like this bracket style tournament is definitely a welcome sign.
One thing Roy McDonald said before the fight 2 weeks ago is that he's glad he's out of the UFC drama of that welterweight division. Do you feel almost the same way about the 205 division?
Oh yeah, I mean that's you know, a big part of it. Just, you know, I want to fight the best and be the best, and then if you don't have the opportunity to be the best, you know, that's gonna weigh on you a lot. And so I remember there was a time I was 5-fight winning streak, and then, you know, a guy just got knocked out. His last fight got the title shot. You know, and I was told I was going to get all this kind of hoopla, you know, so coming over here, fighting for the championship in Madison Square Garden, winning that belt, defending it, and now doing this is a dream.
Great, thank you.
Lovely,
guys.
thank you, Ron.
Thank you guys, appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.